7, we get to 8, Hanukkah miracles. Right? So a miracle tree, the fruit stands up, faces the opposite way it would hang in nature. Gets in a straight line, highly unnatural also, and makes it a kosher menorah. And this is the type of piece that I make each pomegranate separately and the tree, and then I connect them all with the fire. In the end, it's one piece of glass, and totally usable. This glass that I use is Pyrex, so you could light a candle directly in it. I tried to make it as practical as possible. You can put those little cups in the top and light those, and it's easier to clean. That's the pomegranate Hanukkah. And I make them in different colors as well. I like them also with a clear base of red pomegranates. This one happens to be blue. It's open on the end here. It's open, and I'm going to make this into a shape. Now with glass, right away we see something special. What are some associations with glass? We've thrown a few words. Anyone has any ideas? Fragile, breakable, transparent, strong. If it breaks, it's sharp, right? If it breaks, it could break into many pieces, right? So before I worked with glass, I thought about glass this way. And now that I work with glass, with the flame, I think about it more. That there's more to the story, right? We see with the glass, within a few moments, what was hard and unmovable, cold, sharp, breakable, it becomes a flowing, glowing liquid, right, in the fire. So it's a very hopeful material. It makes me think, if glass can change that much, then I could change at least a little, right? I could be inspired by that idea. There might be a place in myself that's a little bit stuck and hard like glass. And I could imagine heating up, starting to move, starting to flow, and change.
How old were you when you came back?
How old was I when?
When you came back.
When I came back to stay in Israel?
Yeah.
I basically, in a very simple way, the separateness, because of the fire, can go away, right? Well, it's one piece of glass. Now I just attached this so I have a handle to hold it, but there's an idea behind it. We're in Spot. Spot is a mystical mountaintop, special place, right? There's no place like Spot. And the specialness of Spot is that in this town, there's a certain aspect of the tradition that came down, that became available here much more, which is the deeper side, right? Like the spiritual inner side. It's called like the honey, the nectar of the Torah. Beyond the what, when, and how, more the why, the meaning behind it, and having a deeper, direct connection to what it is that we're doing. So these teachings, light of the Torah, it explains and it says that when you watch a glass blower, we can connect to breath in a deep way. Right? We're all breathing all the time, so who notices? Right? So maybe in yoga class they notice, maybe not. But we're normally just breathing away. And when we see glass blown, into a shape, we're going to see it in a moment. But we realize something very deep about breath. And it goes all the way back to the beginning of breath for all of us, and any babies that we've had, or we've been with someone who's had a baby. When a new baby is born, that first breath, it's beyond, right? It's totally amazing. Nobody would argue. Even the doctors, right? It's a totally amazing beyond thing when a baby breathes its first breath. It's from beyond. And this alludes to the very first breath that Adam breathed. Adam was brought to life with a breath, right? He was some dirt and water. And Hashem blew into his nose life, which was breath, right? Suddenly he became an animated, speaking, living being. So when we see a glass blower, we see a couple of things. We realize that the glass came into shape somehow. The glass blower had to think of something. The glass blower had to show up and blow into it with the lungs, with the essential life, which is the breath, and that's where the shape came from. So this is an analogy to people, so that I can appreciate the person breathing next to me. I meet a new person, they're breathing, I say, oh, they're just like that piece of glass, right? They're being thought of, they're being blown into, they're being brought into shape, brought into life with every breath. Okay, so watch the shape as it is now. One more. I'm going to blow one now that I'm going to pop on purpose. Do it carefully. Hollywood moment of glass and love. It's exciting, right? We have to have fun. It's part of it. Any questions at this point?
Oh, yeah. So what did you do when you first moved to Israel?
And just being, and I was painting also.
What was your degree in nursing?
In college,
Yeah.
it was art and art history with a focus in painting. And then I got into the glass afterwards. I already lived here when I started the glass work. I already lived here, and I already, worked on being a Jewish woman. So we're a special group, being that we're women. And I had the question when I first got interested in the traditional Judaism, how this was going to work out for me. I was at Princeton at the time. I was geared up to take on the world. Traditional was not a word that I was using about myself. And I thought, how's this going to work? And I found this idea of the circle that we already talked about, and what the potential is for a Jewish woman is really the highest, because there's we're partners in creation. So in life, and we say on Rosh Hashanah, we just said it, right? That we should be filled with squeal, filled with good, like the pomegranate is filled with seed. The pomegranate has seeds all the way to the skin, right? You open it up, it's a full fruit, very, very full. And we want to be like that. All the good things that we're doing are just we're getting filled and filled and filled. And I've noticed this year we actually have a pomegranate tree, and I like to take all the seeds out. It takes a long time to take them all out. There's a lot of seeds in there. There's really a lot. And they say there's 613 seeds, which if it's